Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass and Move. Today is episode 6 of our Mission Manchester United series, where I attempt to restore Manchester United to their former glory and really just be winning everything that comes into our path. If you haven't checked out the last episode, definitely check it out. As always, it was an exciting game and an exciting episode. So yeah, definitely just check it out if you haven't seen it as of yet. But for today's episode, we've got a game against Tottenham, and as you can see here, we're worse off than we were last episode. We're in sixth place. It looks like I'm a worse manager than Louis van Gaal, really. So that's quite disappointing. I thought at least we'd be challenging for fourth spot. I mean, we're not far from it. It's one of the reasons why today's game is really, interesting. Why it's such a big clash is because we're going head to head with Tottenham, who are on fourth place. If we beat them, we'll become 1 point within them. Within distance to them. We can start putting some serious pressure on them in terms of qualifying for the Champions League. Because as of yet, we're not getting that automatic Europa League spot either. Stoke have been the surprise package of the season so far, performing really well under Mark Hughes. Credit to him. His attributes are actually really pretty decent for a manager. But yeah, in terms of what's been going on since last time, I've got quite a run of games to speak to you about. So I think the last game we did was the Chelsea game. We're really getting into the end of the season now, as you could tell. But yeah, that last episode against Chelsea, quite disappointing, and we followed through in that with a 3-0 defeat to West Ham. Very disappointing. Ibrahimovic even missed a penalty there to equalise and put some serious pressure on West Ham. They managed to get a late goal just to add to our misery. And since then, I've changed things up just a tiny little bit. I'll show you exactly how. We've moved Ibrahimovic to a complete forward support role, and that helped us go on this nice little run of games that we have here up until the City and Liverpool games. But as you can see, some really nice wins. 4-1 against Cheltenham in the FA Cup 4th round. A nice win against Middlesbrough 5-1. We got our revenge over Bournemouth as well. I'm not sure if we lost to Middlesbrough in the last meeting. No, we actually beat them in the EFL Cup round. And we beat them in the Premier Division. Never mind. It looks like we just beat them all the time. But it was Bournemouth we lost to before, so it was nice to get our revenge here. We even managed to force an own goal, so that was great. Jack Wilshere got sent off in the 6th minute, made everything really easy for us. Nice, really nice, easy win, basically, again. And then we had the Europa Cup. It was the first knockout round, pretty much 3-0 aggregate win. We also beat Barnsley in the FA Cup. So we're doing decently in the cup competitions. It's really just the Premier Division where we're doing quite poorly. This one was a really terrible draw, a 0-0 draw with the Crystal Palace. As you can see, we pretty much dominated the game. It was disappointing to draw this because, again, once the pressure was on for my team to perform, they didn't. We would have been able to climb up the table and start putting some pressure on some fellow challengers, or even just competition, not competition, Champions League places. So that was a disappointing draw. But again, like after we went on this nice little winning run here, I can't really complain. We beat Burnley in the Premier Division as well. Martial, Smalling and Lingard even managed to get on the sheet there, even though he was a substitute, I believe. And then, yeah, against Monaco was a really nice performance in the Europa Cup. We managed to beat them, I think, 5-1 on aggregate. We exceeded the expectations, basically. Not by board expectations, but rather that the experts, the odds expert, expected us to lose away to Monaco. Instead, we got a nice 3 away goals. Let me see. I can't remember who scored a nice goal here. Let me see if I think Mata scored a nice free kick in this game, but I'm not entirely sure. That might have been the home leg. But let me see if I can just quickly show you guys this goal, if it'll ever load. Yeah, Mata does score a free kick, so that's nice. He scored quite a number of free kicks for us this season. That's where most of his goals have come from. And yeah, so I think that complete forward on support role has really helped us, and Ibrahimovic has been performing much better as well. We managed to beat Crystal Palace 2-0 in the FA Cup. Again, not much competition from Crystal Palace. They pretty much just let us come at them and score. They even Benteke even getting injured there. What followed, though, was a pretty bad game against City. Now, as you can see here, there was only a 3-game gap between the Monaco and City game, and as well as the Crystal Palace and Monaco, and again, the Monaco and Crystal Palace game here. So, really, a terrible run of games from Burnley till City. Just my players eventually got tired when we reached the City game. I had to rest a few players. You can see the differences here from the Monaco game to the City game. From the team sheet, basically. And yeah, my backup players sort of disappointed me. Aguero getting the 3rd-minute goal, even though we were marking him. They did dominate the game, but in terms of, I think, clear-cut chances, we matched them. Apparently not at all. I guess we really didn't deserve to win this game. I thought we stood the chance, but apparently not. But yeah, I can quickly show you Aguero's goal if it'll load quickly as well. I don't think Football Manager ever loads quickly for anyone, to be honest, from what I've seen from other channels. But yeah, Aguero just instantly putting us to the sword here. It bounces back to Silva, which is a bit lucky, I guess. But, you know, I was expecting big things from our team. I was hoping some of the backup players can come into the team and perform well, but apparently not. I thought we would bounce back against Liverpool. It was a crucial game as well. I was really thinking about showing you guys the City and Liverpool game, but I thought we haven't done an episode on Tottenham just yet. We managed to beat them before, and then they beat us in the EFL Cup quarterfinals. So I guess this one's really the game to settle it. I thought it'd be a bit exciting, as well as, of course, that we're fighting for the Champions League spots now. We're not really fighting for the Premier Division title anymore. Then Arsenal are first and 72 points, we're 6th with 54 points. So they're almost 20 points ahead of us, having played a game in hand. But still, you know, 8 games left of the season. So it's really, really unlikely now. And we should be aiming for a Champions League spot. So yeah, that's why we're going to be playing today's game. In terms of the Liverpool game, I'm just going to quickly show you guys what happened. So Milner got a penalty through Eric or Bailey. I don't even know. Some commentators say Bay and some say Bailey. So I don't know how to say his name. But either way, Eric was the one to give the penalty away. He still managed to get a decent 6.9 rating, but pretty disappointing to give away a penalty in the opening 15 minutes. We did force an own goal through Nacho. I screamed at the players at halftime. They responded well. Mkhitaryan, I think, got a decent goal for us here too, which completed the comeback. I thought we were definitely going to go on to win. I changed my players to be a bit more defensive because Liverpool were getting onto us a bit. But that decision sort of backfired. Sometimes it doesn't backfire, sometimes it does. And this time it did, but we did end up getting a draw from a position where we seemed likely to lose. So it was a decent draw. I mean, I couldn't fault the players. Told them we played decently. They did all right to come back and get the draw for us. I think in terms of match stats, we did, edge them. So they did perform decently. You can't really tell them off twice anyways. It'll just damage morale. But yeah, let's get into Tottenham, the game against Tottenham today. We're going to be playing with this team here, really first choice centre mids. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys, we actually had a number of injuries during that little run of games that were coming on after each other. So we actually had Schweinsteiger, Pogba, Herrera suspended, so 3 centre mids out of our 4. So it was quite disappointing. Herrera was only suspended. Schweinsteiger and Pogba were the ones that were injured. So I actually had to call up Josh Hart to play a number of games for us in the middle, just because we lacked any more backups. We had just terrible injuries. Even Depay has suffered a quite bad injury. He's been out for quite a while. I think it's only 3 months left, but he's actually supposed to be out for 4 months. It says here 6 weeks. I'm not really sure why. But yeah, when he got injured, they told us about 3 to 4 months. Mata also getting an injury, not too serious, but it's disappointing to lose him out considering how well he's played so far this season. He's gotten us 15 goals, 10 assists, and yeah, really just a star player for us. So it's a bit disappointing to miss out on him, but I have full faith in Lingard. He can perform for us. He's gotten 4 goals, 3 assists, and just 9 starts. You know, most of them have come off the bench, so he has. He deserves his shot at playing as an advanced playmaker on attack. He's suited for the role as well. He can play anywhere across the front 3 here, I guess, if you could call it, just in behind the striker. So we're going to be playing him there, see what we can bring. Mkhitaryan and Martial are our first choices, as well as Ibrahimovic. Blind still managed to keep out Shaw from the left-back position. Decent rating so far. I'm guessing Shaw's pretty disappointed. I gave Bailey a bit of a run in the side. He didn't perform well, so Smalling and Jones are going to play first today. Yeah, let's just get into today's game. I feel like we've been talking quite a while now. We're going to be changing a number of things for today's episode. What we're going to be doing is showing we're going to be watching the match in 3D from now on. I've decided I don't think 2D is really appealing for you guys. I think 3D is much more suited. We've been made odds favourites there. But yeah, we're going to be watching in 3D, and we're going to have the replays on Behind Goal Low. Let me know what you guys think. It's going to be on TV. I think it's just much better that way. More entertaining for you guys as well. I'm more of a fan of watching in 2D, but you know, for you guys, we'll be keeping it that way. Now, we got the choice of telling my team that we owe Tottenham, and that always seems to spur the team on, so we're going to be telling them that. And yeah, let's hope we can perform today. We do need the win. We can't afford just to draw or even worse, lose. And that is quite the intro in 3D. I mean, I could skip it, but let's give it a bit of a watch here. Let's see. The players are coming out of the tunnel. They look amped. And yeah, Tottenham are going to kick off. So they are playing in the same formation we're playing in, 4-2-3-1. You know, Eriksen, Lamella, Kane. So really, they've got their full first 11 out there. So we need to perform. We need to show them who's boss, who will win the third time we meet. You know, it's a game of 3, isn't it? So we have to show them that we're top dogs. Sorry there, I just blanked out because I was trying to encourage my players. I've also been using the touchline team talks a lot lately. I think they're a bit helpful. But Tottenham are bringing the ball forward here, and it looked like Kane was going to get at the end of that. But thankfully, Mario Fernandes has dealt with that well, winning a header against one of the tallest or even strongest players in the league. So that's pretty good, considering he's just a fullback. I'm going to encourage my players a little bit more here as well. I think we should switch to control duty because Tottenham are mounting, not duty mentality, Tottenham are matching us in the stats here, even edging it a little bit. We are going to have a corner here. Let's see if Mkhitaryan can put a good ball into the box. He doesn't, but Pogba passes it down to Herrera, who tucks it in for his first goal of the season. I also actually forgot to mention that Pogba managed to get his first goal for the club as well earlier on. And he does really well here to just head it down, and Marshall does well to get out of the way, and Lloris stands no chance of that, really just a mess in the box, and we come out of it looking better than ever. So we're not going to complain at all. It is just the 1-0 lead, and Tottenham are matching us a little bit. So I'm going to tell them that I think they're capable of even better. It's switched some of them off, but I don't think they should be switched off. Can't really praise them for performance where Tottenham are matching us. That doesn't really make much sense. But anyways, we're just going to tell them we have a bit of faith in them. It's worked for some of them. It's only De Gea who's switched off now. And let's see if they can perform better in the second half. I'm still wondering. I think I will switch to the control mentality now, just because Tottenham are still matching us, and that really shouldn't be the case because we are playing at home. But we are leading the game, so we can't complain too much. Ibrahimovic having a bit of a bad game, so I'm tempted. He's not really been in too good form lately. I mean, he's got 2 goals, but he's living off quite a number of games away from then. Since then, he's actually performed 6.4 rating there, 6.9 and 6.6, so really not too good. If he performs badly today as well, it's likely that Rooney will be brought into the side. And I think I will actually bring Rooney on as a sub now. We are hitting the 60th minute mark, but our midfield is tired. I think I'll do that actually. I'll just bring on Rooney, give him a chance to shine. I'm going to tell him I have a bit of faith in him as well. He's in deep thought for some weird reason. Maybe he didn't actually understand me telling him that I have faith in him. And Tottenham are still edging the stats here. They're playing quite well. But as long as we hold on to our lead, I'm not complaining. Going to give the players a bit more encouragement here. I think I'll just do it calmly rather than assertively. But yeah, the touchline team talk is a great way to just encourage your players consistently. And you know, just switch it up every now and then. You know, sometimes assertively, sometimes calm, sometimes passionate. Players get sick of repetitive team talks, and Tottenham are going to bring the ball forward here. They're looking dangerous. Lamella plays it through, but Herrera does well to deal with it, and Rooney's got the ball now. Can he do something special? No, he cannot. He doesn't find Martial, and Tottenham are going to bring it forward again on the counter here. So can we deal with this? Kane takes a ridiculous long shot, and thankfully it just sort of hits, I think that was Jones in the face, but yeah, Tottenham still holding on to the ball here. And yeah, they are playing that player that I mentioned that I like, which is Giovanni. And Lamella has hit the woodwork from there. And I don't know what Martial was doing there, but yeah, thankfully we managed to get away with that. And Tottenham are still having the better set of chances here. And I think my midfielders are a bit tired, so both of them are tired. What we're going to do is we're going to bring on Carrick and we're going to bring on Darmian for Herrera. And what we're going to do is we're going to play Blind in the centre mid role. Carrick is more suited to deep lying playmaker. Even Blind's not suited to deep to role, roaming playmaker. So we're actually going to switch him to deep lying playmaker on support. Hopefully that'll sort of shore up the defense as well as just be a role that he's more suited to. It doesn't make sense playing him as a roaming playmaker. Really, the only two players capable of doing that role are Herrera and Pogba. And even Herrera not so much, just Pogba because of his physicals. And Tottenham have equalised there. They've been playing well for a while now. I guess they kind of deserve this. It's disappointing. I thought my team would be able to hold on to it. We're going to get a chance to see this replay. And Lamella does well here, but for some reason, Kane just ghosting between Mario Fernandes and Smalling. Smalling really didn't have a man, so he didn't have an excuse. Mario Fernandes had a man with him, so that's disappointing from Smalling. Just going to quickly skip that. For some reason, it's just going on for ages. But there's going to be another highlight, and again, it's going Tottenham's way, so that's pretty disappointing. Hopefully, we can deal with this and maybe hit them on the counter. But they still got the ball. It was a nice ball into the back post, but Martial's going to bring the ball forward. Can we hit them on the counter? I say counter, but they've got plenty of players black. Can we just lose it straight away? And it's actually going to be them who are going to hit us on the counter, and we look short in defence. Thankfully, my players have come back to deal with that. Mkhitaryan does well to win it. And Lingard, can you do something special? He plays it to Rooney. Rooney, this is your chance to shine. And for some reason, he thought he could chip the keeper from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to encourage the players a little bit. And I think I will make a couple of changes in terms of not substitutions, but rather the duties that we're playing a couple of players. Just go on attacking, full out attack. Let's see what we can do here with 15 minutes to go. Maybe we can start putting some serious pressure on Tottenham because we've failed to do that so far this game. Just quickly switch everyone to sort of attacking duties. See what we can do. Going into 10 minutes left of the game now, and again, the highlight seems to be going Tottenham's way. For some reason, my team have struggled to get out of first gear, and it looks like Giovanni's going to put a good cross into Kane, and he does do that, and Kane does score, and they are the team who come back. I guess that halftime team talk wasn't as inspiring as I wanted it to be, and Tottenham are the ones who are inspired by their manager's halftime team talk, and Kane just scoring 2 headers against us there. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to force Kane into using his pace that he doesn't really have, and just push on playing as a high line. Let's see if that helps us. I mean, there's an immediate highlight, so this could go really, great or really wrong, and it looks like it's going to go really wrong with Giovanni bringing the ball forward here, but Jones does well to win it. He plays it to Mkhitaryan. Can Mkhitaryan find a man here? He sort of dribbles around his player, finds Carrick, but Carrick loses out to Giovanni, and they are going to bring the ball forward here. To lose 2-1 at home when we really need the win is going to be quite disappointing. Hopefully we can get a late equaliser and maybe even a late winner. Mkhitaryan finds Carrick. Carrick finds Blind. Both of them are centre midfielders now. So can Blind adapt quickly from being there's a penalty. I guess he has adapted really well there. Rose pushed Mkhitaryan, which is going to lead into a penalty here. And it looks like Carrick is going to take it for us, which is a bit strange because we've got Rooney on the pitch. He should be taking it. But let's see if Carrick can tuck it away. Can he? Yes, he can. And that's our late equaliser there. That's perfect. We're going to switch into overload mentality. Looks like the high line's a bit risky, but we really just need to win this game now. Getting the draw, sorry, not the 1-1 draw. It's a 2-2 draw. But getting a draw is not too bad. But really, we should be winning. We're playing Stoke next, who are just above us. And as I mentioned, the surprise package of the season. Now, there's going to be another highlight here just before the game ends by the looks of it. Now, let's see if it will fall our way. But instead, it looks like it's going to fall Tottenham's way. And De Gea does incredibly well there to save that. I mean, the 3D view of it looked quite strange. It looked like he saved it with his feet. But, I mean, which is pretty realistic, at least, because he does that in real life. But Now that is what you call disappointing. Dele Alli just scoring a wonder goal there. Really enough players here to deal with him. And De Gea probably should have done a bit better there, but considering his save just before that, can't really fault him too much. And it does look like he'll end 3-2 here. Only 2 minutes left of the game. Phil Jones is getting a useless, or unnecessary rather, yellow card. And yeah, it looks like this is going to be a bit of a pointless highlight. Doesn't seem like it'll amount to much considering there's only 8 seconds now, 7, 6, and we lose the ball. So it's definitely going to be a pointless highlight here. And the game will end 3-2 to Tottenham. And yeah, I don't know what's going on, because the first half of the season we were doing incredibly well against top teams, and then later in the second half of the season we're doing really poorly. So I'm not sure what's going on with my players. And we did go into a nice little winning run there, and then just out of nowhere, top teams are just performing really well against it. I thought some of it had to do with my tactic here, where we're playing a roaming playmaker alongside a deep lying playmaker. It seems like we're not really a defensive team against top teams, so it might, be a bit smart to play a bit more defensive against top teams. But we did play for the last bit of the game. There were 2 deep lying playmakers, one on support and one on defend duties, and yet we actually conceded more than we did when we were just playing with a roaming playmaker and deep lying playmaker. So that's a bit disappointing. I think Carrick's and Blind's lack of pace there showed. As you can see, acceleration 9, pace 11, and I'm guessing Carrick, just because of his age, is going to be quite slow as well, 6 and 8. So yeah, I guess that was a bit disappointing end to the game there. It seems like I'm going to be fired any day now. My job security is insecure. And if I can quickly show you, look at that confidence there, 26% for the Premier Division. They're really disappointed. It looks like my most likely chance to win get into the Champions League position is to actually win the Europa Cup. And we're going to be playing against Fenerbahce. I might actually show you guys that game for the next episode. But it really depends on how the game against Stoke goes on, whether I think we stand a chance here. We did draw Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final, so we do have a chance of some silverware here. It might make more sense to show you guys the Chelsea game, because that's going to be a bit interesting. We might be able to get our revenge on this Antonio Conte side, who have sort of given up the title to Arsenal. I mean, they do have somewhat of a chance here, but with 6 points gap and 7 games left to play, it seems like Arsenal are just going to go on and win it. But yeah, I mean, it really depends on how this season goes. I think I'll only show you guys the Europa Cup when we get into the final. If we do reach the final, I'm more likely to show you the semi-final here. Maybe even not. If we win the semi-final, I'll show you the final of the FA Cup. But there's not much more to show in the Premier Division. We've got sort of a decent run in here. We've got Stoke. I mean, they are above us, but they're still Stoke. At the end of the day, we do have to respect their position, but not. We should still be expected to win this game. And we've got Leicester, who are 9th, Hull in 17th, Swansea in 14th, Sunderland 12th, and Watford in 8th. So yeah, a decent run in here. We really should be beating all these teams in the Premier Division. I might show you guys what happens with the cup games. That's if my board doesn't decide to fire me. And as you can see here, they are requesting to discuss confidence. So I think I'll actually show you guys what happens here. So they're disappointed with the result against Tottenham. And I'm not sure what to tell me. I'm afraid they were just too strong for us on the day. I have to hold my hands up. The players weren't good enough. Officials really cost us. We were unlucky. I think I'll actually say we were unlucky. But they are probably going to ask us for points total. Now let's see what they respond. We say we agree if a bit more luck. So that's good. That's gone well. Thankfully, sometimes they actually ask you to get a number of points within a number of games. Otherwise, you're going to get fired. And I feel like that's what's going to happen soon if I don't qualify for the Champions League. And now this has put us in an awful position where we've got a 7-point gap between us and Tottenham with 7 games left. Let's have a look at Tottenham's run-in. I think it's just sort of over there. They do play Chelsea, so that's going to be a bit in our favour. They play Everton, Chelsea, and I think that's pretty much the only tricky fixtures they've got here. I mean, in terms of reputation, West Ham might be a bit tricky as well as Southampton. But yeah, you never really tell. You can never really tell with the Premier Division. Anyways, I think that will be all for today's episode. As always, if you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe. And thank you guys for watching.